What do Vin Diesel and John Cena have in common, apart from the fact that they both have muscular physiques? Both are actors and both starred in Fast and Furious, and while their characters, Dominic and Jacob Toretto, compete on the screen, let's find out which one of the actors has cooler cars in real life. Which vehicle from Vin Diesel's collection of high-speed cars really stands out? And why did Ford sue John Cena? We'll tell you all about this in our new video and show you the impressive collections of these two celebrities.
I told you. This is my world.
Vin Diesel versus John Cena. Whose cars are cooler? Vin Diesel and his Fast and Furious cars.
You ready, kid?
If we talk about cars, Vin Diesel is in no way inferior to his character from the racing franchise. Name any class of car, the celebrity most likely has or had one in his garage. With a net worth of $225 million, he can obviously afford it. His collection includes supercars, hypercars, and Japanese cars of the 90s. However, Diesel has a special love for American muscle cars. Diesel's romance with cars began with the 1978 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. He bought this American two-door coupe at an auction and was very happy with this purchase, and it's not surprising. After all, this model has become truly legendary and has outlived many competitors and 5 design generations. By the way, the length of the Chevy Monte Carlo is more than 200 inches. One of Vin's favorites was the 1993 Mazda RX-7, one of the coolest sports cars in the cinema, driven by Dominic Toretto. This model was modified for the filming of The Fast and the Furious, and they even bought several of them. The car's interior was supposed to have a roll cage, but it was removed because of Diesel's impressive physique. It's safe to assume that the actor really enjoyed his time behind the wheel of the Mazda, since he did not think twice before spending 40 grand on the same car to add to his personal collection. Moreover, Vin often used the filming process of Fast and Furious as test drives, after which he bought the models he liked. He especially loved the Chevrolet Chevelle, and this car was in his collection for a long time, but eventually he sold it. After the 6th Fast and Furious movie, Diesel added another car to his fleet, the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. It's a muscle car and at the same time an American classic. And it's also a rare find. A model with characteristics like those of Vin's car was limited to 70 units. Another Dodge of Charger Tantrum model was presented to the actor by his friends on his 52nd birthday. They say that when Diesel saw this car on the set of F9, he immediately fell in love. Well, no wonder. After all, it's a supercar. It was a 9-liter V8 engine with 1,650 horsepower, and the interior was, of course, custom-made. Vin really loved the gift, but for some reason, he put it up for sale soon after. Other 4-wheeled souvenirs from Fast and Furious for Diesel were the 2010 BMW E60 M5 with a 500 horsepower V10 engine, the 1973 Chevrolet Camaro RS Z28 F-Bomb, and the 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. The latter was eventually sold at auction at the Barrett-Jackson Company. And Vin, of course, couldn't resist buying the legendary Pontiac Bonneville. This 1966 classic is considered the longest Pontiac ever produced. This American brand used to rule the market for more than 40 years. It was popular with sports car enthusiasts. Fans of tuned cars in America were crazy about the Subaru Impreza WRX STI, and Vin Diesel was one of them, adding this 2009 car to his collection. It has a turbocharged engine and all-wheel drive, and its performance and speed are commendable. Another powerful Japanese car in Diesel's garage is the 1994 Toyota Supra. The car is equipped with a 3-liter twin-turbocharged engine with 321 horsepower. The endless list of cars that have been in Vin's garage also included the 1974 Plymouth Barracuda, but Diesel also has several extremely rare finds in his collection. For example, the 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Grand Sport that Toretto and O'Connor stole from the train in the Fast 5. In real life, only 5 such cars were ever produced, 3 coupes and 2 convertibles, and one of these unique models, which every collector dreams of, belongs to Diesel. Vin's another exclusive vehicle is the 2014 Lykan Hypersport. There are only 7 of them in the world. This Lebanese hypercar, developed by Arab, Lebanese, French, and Italian engineers, received a starting price of $3.5 million. For this price, the buyers received an exclusive car with a 3.7-liter twin-turbocharged flat-six engine that generates 750 horsepower. Its maximum speed is 245 miles per hour. Vin, of course, first saw this car on the set of Fast and Furious, its seventh installment. The manufacturer produced 10 simplified versions of the hypercar for this film, and 9 of them were destroyed. One surviving car was returned to the manufacturer and put up for sale with a starting price of $750,000. But one car that really stands out from Diesel's collection of muscle, hyper, and supercars is a van. But of course, this is not a simple van, but an exclusive Rolls-Royce Ghost Sprinter with a custom-made interior. It has an updated air conditioning system, Apple TV, and even an old-fashioned phone. The cost of this van starts from $29,000, but it is unknown how much more was spent on all the upgrades. It was a birthday gift for Diesel from his friend Tyrese Gibson, who decorated the grille with a red bow.
The only thing that matters is who's behind the wheel.
John Cena and his dream cars.
Yo! It's not that one. It's this one.
Wait, but...
And now let's discuss the car collection of Diesel's on-screen brother, actor, and former wrestler John Cena. He also loves cars and says that each of them has its own story. Cena grew up in the 1980s in Massachusetts and was a big fan of muscle cars. Pontiacs, Dodges, Mustangs, and Chevrolet Camaros were his dream cars. The guy spent his free time from school, gym, and football practice with friends repairing cars and dreamed of getting a cool, fast car with a crazy design someday. John Cena bought his first car at the age of 14, and it was the 1984 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. However, the car was confiscated even before he could get his driver's license. Soon after, he bought the 1970 Chevrolet Nova. After graduating from university, the guy, having quarreled with his father, went to California with almost no money and worked there as a limousine driver. And he actually slept in his 1991 Lincoln Continental. After signing his first contract with an American wrestling promotion, John started making his childhood dreams come true. From that moment on, he could not be stopped from buying American car classics. He especially loves Pontiacs. He owns the 1969, 1970, and 1971 GTO Judge models. By the way, the 1970 GTO was the first muscle car that Cena bought. Another cool muscle car in John's collection is the 1966 limited edition Dodge Charger with a Hemi engine. Interestingly, the Charger was created so that such a powerful engine could be used in racing. At that time, there was a rule that racing cars had to have engines used in mass production models. Cena has several 1969 cars, the two-seat muscle car AMC AMX and sports cars Chevrolet Camaro, COPO, and Dodge Daytona. But most of his cars are from the 1970s, AMC Rebel Machine, Buick GSX, Mercury Cougar Eliminator, the legendary Plymouth Superbird supercar in bright orange, Chevrolet Nova, and Oldsmobile Cutlass Rally 350. The latter, by the way, was produced only in 1970, so this car is one of the gems of John's collection. John Cena's garage also includes the second-generation Plymouth Roadrunner released at the end of the muscle car era. And Cena's favorite for 3 years was the 1971 AMC Hornet SC360. The man drove it daily but eventually sold it. By the way, John tries to keep his cars in working condition by regularly driving them on American roads. The actor and former wrestler also has several cars from the 1980s, a full-sized Cadillac Coupe de Ville with V8 engine and 135 horsepower, an extraordinary Lamborghini Countach, and a Jeep Wrangler SUV. The Lamborghini was John's childhood dream. He admired the scissor doors and believed that the Countach was the coolest car in the world. And although Countach is not easy to drive, the celebrity prefers to use it on short trips. As for the Jeep, Cena also loves it and promises never to sell it. He bought the Wrangler in his youth with 80,000 miles on it, and now it reminds him of his past before big fees and fame. The 2000s in John's collection are represented by the 2006 Ford GT, 2006 Dodge Viper, Dodge Charger SRT8, 2007 Dodge Super Bee, Ferrari F430 Spider, and limited edition Mustang released in honor of American racer Parnelli Jones. Although the design of these cars is less remarkable than that of the models of the 70s and 80s, Cena loves that they are just as powerful. Celebrating another wrestling victory, John bought himself a present, the 2009 Lamborghini Gallardo. Its starting price was $200,000, but for some reason, the man later sold this sports car. John was biased against Corvettes, but still bought the 2009 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, and he has been happy about this purchase ever since. Moreover, he bought another such car and modified it. In 30 days, the car's body was completely redesigned, adding a rising roof and a two-piece windshield. Moreover, they moved the 8-cylinder engine to the back of the car and installed 8 exhaust pipes, spitting fire and creating an impressive sight. The resulting futuristic car received the name Incinerator, a combination of John's last name and the word incinerator. Later, it took part in the Gumball 3000 celebrity rally with the most unusual and expensive cars. However, the supercar was returned to the company that created it and was later put up for sale for $425,000. Cena's garage also has a Ferrari, more precisely the 2013 458 Italia model with a 4.5-liter V8 engine and 562 horsepower. This baby accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.4 seconds, and the maximum speed is 202 miles per hour. And for some reason, John's relationship with the 2017 Ford GT did not work out. The car's characteristics are impressive. The engine, with a capacity of 655 horsepower, a 0 to 62 mile per hour time in 3.1 seconds, and a maximum speed of 216 miles per hour. The cars of that year were produced for selected buyers, and according to the contract terms, could not be sold within 2 years from the date of the purchase. But this did not stop the famous car enthusiast, and he decided to sell it. Offended, Ford filed a lawsuit, but the case was settled out of court. The disappointment of a failed purchase helped overcome the 2020 Honda Civic Type R. Cena prefers to use it for everyday rides because it is not only fast but also a reliable car. The celebrity loves high-performance models with a manual transmission, and this Honda meets his requirements.
You leave. Now. You drive away. And you never come back.
It's safe to assume that both Diesel and Cena's passion for fast cars is limited only by the size of their garages. However, Cena admitted that some of his purchases no longer fit in his Florida home. Whose collection do you find more impressive?